Liberty Pizza, and this is my memo on that. And if I have an extra application at the end of the meeting, I'll give it to you. Thank you very much. Very, very helpful.
Hey,
I try.
he's online. Oh, that's online. We haven't even said it was. So, yeah, just those two. I still have 3 minutes and now I'll say you'll be back.
Two minutes to spare.
We'll try to keep it out at 15 minutes there.
Oh, I love it. It's been a long, hard day. In the last 30 hours, I put 3 different trailer hitches on my car and 3 different trailers, so I can just whip. And I spent 16 on gravel these splits.
Yeah. I don't know what's trailer is in the way. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. I'm not that guy. You asked for it. You asked for it.
We got one.
Oh, yeah.
It arrived today.
Just a minute.
There you are, so your pencil.
Thank you.
Material.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. All right. A quorum being present with Deborah Cooler attending via Zoom. I'm calling the June 10th meeting of the planning board to order. First order of business is the approval of the minutes of May 13th. All motion. Second, thank you. Any errors, omissions, corrections? All those in favor of approving and approving?
I'll stand the question part of it. Question part of it.
And yeah, man, last music stop. Only the music stop. Chairs are gone. It's usually jazz here.
Here, Tony, I'll give you these, but let me grab your chair. I'll wheel mine over and I'll take one of these. You sure?
Move Tony's nameplate down in front of you. Yep. Move it the other way. That's. Thank you.
You get a good sheet. That's approved. First order, first order of business, garage doors and more company incorporated. 407 Bath Road, which is 1, Wisconsin tax map 213 lot 1, findings of facts and.
Joining us this evening. So this was on at the last meeting, you deemed the application complete and granted the waiver request, and given its size, because it was less than 2,500 square feet, it went to me for review, so I have in front of you a site plan review decision that goes through the application background and then goes through the conclusions, looking at the application against the standards for site plan review. So things like utilization of site, which is really not applicable because the applicant's only proposing interior changes. The only exterior site work would be possibly some painting down the road. Traffic access, the utilization of existing driveways proposed, and they don't anticipate much traffic in and out, perhaps 10 customers daily. We go through things like parking layout, design, pedestrian access, building, storage of materials, of which the applicant confirmed that there's gonna be no materials, products, or equipment to be stored outside of the building, and no hazard materials are proposed to be stored as part of this project. They're gonna use an existing private well on site for water supply, and sewage disposal will be through the Wiscasset Sewer District, of which they got confirmation from Rob Lally, the sewer district superintendent, that it can handle the sewage consumption for garage doors and more. They'll be using central main power for their utilities, which is I. Natural features not applicable, no exterior site works proposed. K, water quality protection not applicable. Again, no exterior site work is proposed, same for L, hazardous special and radioactive materials. It's with outside the shoreline zone, so M is not applicable. As far as capacity applicant, Mr. Lewis has been servicing and installing garage doors for 23 years and has owned garage doors and more companies since 2016. And he'll be self-financing this project. For O, solid waste management, they'll be using the Wiscasset transfer station for any recycling and waste disposal. The majority of the waste produced would be recyclable materials such as metal and cardboard. P, historic and archaeological resources are not applicable. The work will not impact any historic or archaeological resources. It's outside a flood zone. And there are no off-site improvements proposed for R, so it's not applicable. Again, groundwater protection, because there is no exterior site improvements proposed, same with erosion control and buffering, and additional Route 1 standards. While the site is on Route 1, this isn't applicable because it's an already improved property on Route 1 with access on and off Route 1. So based on the findings and facts and conclusions, as well as the information submitted as part of their application, we find this application, or this draft says, that it's approved. We have the standard conditions of approval. For example, one copy of this decision shall be included with the application for the building permit, the code enforcement officer, and then any other approvals that may be needed. For example, a sign permit may need to be obtained. And then we have our standard language about appeals. So all that is left to do is for you to approve it and have Carl sign it.
I make a motion, we approve it as presented by Emily.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve as presented. Anybody make a comment? All those in favor? In favor too? Unanimous.
So this will go to the code enforcement officer and a copy will be sent to you as well, so you'll have the electronic copy.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Well,
Talk to you later.
These been in Wisconsin for a while. It's not on Route 1.
all right. Next applicant, Liberty Pizzas for 403 Garden Road.
How's everyone today?
You want to start by?
Explain.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, so, Liberty Pizza, have a small, need to preface, maybe you guys may remember me, I was here not too long ago to open the Seafoam Medical Cannabis Dispensary, in the same building, actually. And we have what's essentially a decent sized room, which we are hoping to convert into, basically a takeout pizza restaurant. Not obviously a sit-down type environment, just, out the window, call ahead type thing. Maybe we'll serve slices. We may have some seating as far as like a couple of picnic tables, but trying to keep it fairly low key, just to kind of complement the other business that we have in the building and to, add some more diversity to the food scene in the town. It's gonna be a, New York style, not that it's materially relevant, but yeah, gonna do some cool stuff over there.
Sure. So I reviewed this application as far as our completeness standards. And so, one first off the bat will be, it's understood that you notified the abutters, but if you could just confirm that.
I did, yeah.
So the one thing I did call out here is that this is now the second use that you'll be reviewing on this site. And on page 2 of my memo, the first paragraph is that this was part of an approved this lot is a part of an approved subdivision. It's 4 acres in size. And per Article 2, Section 2.5 of our ordinance, subnote 2 states that in the rural district, no business shall be built, placed, or maintained upon a lot unless there is a ratio of at least 2 acres per business, which we have now, if you were to approve this. So it's understood that no additional uses can be added to the site if Liberty of Pizza is approved for the existing town ordinance. So I just wanted to call that to your attention. And the other thing I'll call to your attention is that the applicant is not proposing any exterior changes to the building or the site. And so, other than some signage, but there's nothing, materially changing the site as a whole. And because of that, the applicants have submitted a waiver request as part of their application narrative, which has been enclosed in their application package, but I also have a copy of it attached to this memo for your ease of reference. And they are requesting that the planning board grant a waiver from requiring a recent site survey and accompanying information because they are not making any changes to the exterior or the site itself. So that'll be something that you'll need to decide upon. And then my only other comment was the applicant did state that they have some background in food service and food industry, but it might be helpful for you to get a further explanation of that technical capacity.
And if you'd like, I can speak to that one. So, I have, worked in food service in a variety of capacities over my career. As a young man, some of my first jobs were in food service. I've managed a couple of quick service restaurants, Burger King, Subway. I've worked as a short order cook at a Denny's, that kind of thing. And I've also owned, a medical cannabis edibles company. So I have some experience in sort of all aspects of the food service, world. So I feel reasonably confident that we're going to be able to do a pretty good job in making this successful.
First order would be to vote on the waiver report. A motion to that effect. Make motion. For a second. We did waive it on the building report. Thank you. Second. Any comment on that? We go to the vote. All those in favor of granting a waiver, not having to have a survey. Unanimous, voting yes, so it is unanimous. Second, this is under the threshold, correct?
It is. It's the.
I make a motion to send this to Emily for review, since she works. What's the motion again? The motion to send the application to Emily for review.
Second.
Pardon? Did you make that made a motion?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? And it's unanimous. Emily will do the application. You just saw from the ground.
Great. Thank you very much.
I don't think we've ever rejected it.
I appreciate you all very much.
All right, any other business coming before the board? Like you would let out, the next month board meeting, actually one after, I will be representing that, so I'll step down. Is there any other business to come before the board?
At 7:11, I make a motion, we adjourn. Second.
Hi. Thank you, Debbie. Okay. What's up, Joe?
Hey, buddy, I see you out there.
Thank you, Ms. Allen.
You're welcome. Always good to see you.
Downtown.
Nice to see you.
Yes.
Thank you.